Dog gates.
Dog gate. What was that? Oh, that was just your stick. Got it.
Yeah, so we abolished
Dog jail, huh?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, well, that was a good move. That was a good regime change. So to abolish dog jail. It seems like dogs have... the dog vote has got you. You're back now,
I
Jeffrey.
think I want to write that down.
Dog jail? Okay.
All
right, we're live.
All right. I'm going to write down the words abolishing dog jail.
Abolishing dog jail? Did we come up with a title within the first 30 seconds? It's only been 28 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, you talk. I'm going to write this down.
Okay. Jeff is writing. He's joined me here. I'm Pat. This is Coffee Before Bed.
Introduce me.
You're Jeffrey.
Thank you so much.
What is Coffee Before Bed, Jeffrey?
It's your favorite show, asshole.
Just make them up as you go, huh? I love it. Well, yeah, we're back. So our lack of podcast on Friday was my fault, so I guess I better confess to my unfortunate mix of beer and gravity. So
Yeah, why don't you cop to the fact that you caught a beat down?
I did not catch a beat down. I got in a fight with a wheelchair ramp and it won. So
Yes, but explain how it is that you look like you caught a beat down.
I did not use my arms to break my... I don't know. I don't remember. So, I could have just completely planned it like a fucking cartoon. I have no idea. I don't remember.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but you look
I'm better.
Yeah, you look handsome.
Well, thank you.
You do have some pretty severe bruising around the bridge of your nose.
Is it still a little green here?
It's not green.
It hurts right there. This side's good now, though.
It's red.
It's red. Okay. Yeah.
No, your glasses actually hide the most significant dino damage that you've had on your face. So,
my old glasses since I broke my new ones.
Yeah.
Well, relatively new ones.
And those were the expensive ones, right?
Actually, it was the sunglasses that were the expensive because I had Ray-Bans. So,
okay.
Yeah, I decided to buy something nice for myself and subsequently learned to never ever do that again.
Well, it's weird because I have two sets of glasses. These are the expensive ones because they're barely frames. They weigh nothing. But the other ones were my $50 pair that I expected to destroy. But
the black ones?
But
you still have those?
Oh yeah. You talked about the backup pair. Those are nearly indestructible. So those big heavy duty, black frames have and they've survived a lot of contact and everything like that. So
yeah, I don't think I'll be spending that much money on my next pair of glasses. So
no, but much like you, I had an allowance to spend on those. So I
don't know if I do through my work anymore. They've been getting so skimpy on my benefits lately, man.
Will gets so much.
Will gets crazy benefits?
Yeah,
Weekend Will?
Yeah, sometimes Weekend Will.
Sometimes Weekend Will.
We'll call him Working Will now.
Working Will. Yeah, I guess he was working, huh?
I think so. But yeah, he gets all those health benefits, so he got like extra monitors and
extra monitors?
Stuff. Yep. These are they're things that evidently can be, classified as like health things.
What, they got like glare reduction on them or something?
No, they're just monitors.
Monitors.
I mean, I think he probably could have bought the ones with glare reduction, but
we're just gonna give you a Costco card. Have
but
it.
this is Will, so he's like, no extra glare, please.
Extra super glare. Yeah.
Does that cost more? I'll take it.
Yeah. I'll take 2.
Yes. Yeah, he got all tons of that. He's got like a health allowance, and it's yearly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he could be getting a solo flex right now if he wanted to.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I work for the state. I don't get any of that. So it used to be like state benefits are supposed to be the really good ones, but actually I priced out an Obamacare plan 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Fucking I can get a silver plan for cheaper. Yeah. Except for I can't do it because they're like, does your work offer benefits? And I'm like, yes. I don't know why I fought for him now.
Did you actually write on the form that's subjective?
Right,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
please define.
Yeah.
Oh well. I don't know. See how much longer I work for the state.
Yeah, you're getting kind of grumpy about it.
I'm
But
getting a little salty, man. I'm not looking forward to this semester. So already, well, I was telling you in the car, everybody's freaking out about Omicron. So
it shouldn't be.
no, I know they shouldn't be, but it's a school, and this is kind of what schools do. So yeah. So in fact, my daughter's school, the whole district was supposed to have a board meeting tonight where they're supposed to hash out a new policy about all that crap. So I wonder how that went.
You didn't go?
Oh no. So I don't care. They make my daughter stay home. I'll tell my boss that I can't come to work either.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I figured you'd be the type to go to all the like school meeting functions and like demand the floor, and every single one of the times that you speak, you started as a, and then you give them.
As a citizen.
Well, I'm laying out your credentials as an educator myself.
Right, yeah. As a well-read individual.
As a PhD candidate,
Right. As a concerned parent. That's probably the best one, huh?
Yeah.
That's kind of how you pull rank on anybody. Well, it involves my kids, so of course I have to care about it. Mm-hmm. The answer to that question, no, you don't. So it's not really that big a deal.
No, this is you like giving your speech about why they shouldn't talk about Thomas Jefferson in school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, you go out there and say, like, as a family of former slave owners or whatever. No, actually, no. You guys were in in County Cork at the time. That's right.
Yeah, they were all eating potatoes.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so
in the old country. Hitting each other with bottles and jars.
as the son of indentured servants.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, not son. That's still kind of far removed.
Right.
Shit, we just don't have that much oppression in our
family histories.
Not really. I mean,
Well, your mom, yeah. Okay, yeah.
they escaped the communists.
They escaped the communists, but they didn't bring all their things with them.
No, those became communist things. You see,
Communist things.
I tell you, man, those communists were riding around on my mom's skateboard.
You're playing with your dad's baseball cards.
Korean baseball card. Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds, eclectic.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, I got a Hong Chen rookie card. It's I don't know when baseball actually came to Korea and became popular. I just know they play it, but
Oh, I'm sure it was after the war. So
I would think so.
Yeah. Yeah, so pre-war Korean baseball cards are just a myth. So it's an internet hoax.
That's true. Yeah, you were really looking at former leagues and stuff. It's like these are.
I think they played baseball in Japan before World War II, though.
It was introduced. Yeah, absolutely, it was
before World War II.
Yeah, it was
Before they bombed the Pearl Harbor. So
we can't forget that.
Yeah, it was
I
a long
remind
time
them
ago.
all the time,
You remind
yeah.
them all the
Yeah.
time. The Japanese.
Yeah, I've sent so many letters.
Really? To your Japanese congressman?
Not just to the Japanese. I just
in general.
I just addressed it Japan.
Japan. It's like a letter to Santa, North Pole.
And it just says like, I didn't forget.
I remember. Yeah.
The fuck would you do? Like, it's your mailman if you.
I just said Japan. Yeah.
You do everything else right. You put your address.
He'd probably just grab it and throw it in the bag,
Yeah.
whatever. So I don't know.
Not a mail guy.
I'm not a mail guy.
I
Used to load mail, so working for the airline.
That's closer than I've gotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to load lots of mail. So what was the company here in town? It was like Checks Unlimited or something like that. They would send like actual checkbooks out to people. So we'd have stacks and stacks and
yeah.
stacks of fucking checkbooks.
Them and who's the other one? Current? Were they
Oh no, you're right. It was Current. It was Current. Yeah.
Okay.
It was Current. Yeah. You're right. So
who's Checks on? But I know that name. Who is Checks Unlimited?
yeah, I know that name too. I didn't just pull that out of my ass.
You didn't.
Yeah.
I feel like did they do a lot of advertising when we were unemployed?
They might have. Yeah.
I feel like that may be one of those things that sticks with you, like them and like J.G. Wentworth and
J.G. Wentworth. I definitely remember those
Yeah.
commercials when I was unemployed, watching CNBC for job tips. So during the day, refreshing my Monster account. So yeah, after that step of because we were unemployed for what, like a year and a half,
something like that.
something like that.
I don't know if it was that long, but it was a while.
I remember when I finally did get a full-time job, it was actually off Craigslist. So back then, yeah, this was like what, 2008, 9, 10, something like that. Last recession.
Right.
Well, last non-COVID induced recession.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, that's also the last time that gasoline was this expensive.
What's it at now?
Like $3.73 or something like that.
Oh shit, son, they're gonna call you back, man. Didn't they call your brother back already?
Yeah, but you told him no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I wonder if that's real though.
It's real.
No, I know that, but I actually read a really interesting, the gas price is real, but is it actually a supply shortage?
Oh.
And I don't think it actually is, man. I was actually reading something last week that the whole thing that happened back in 2008 when gas prices went bananas was basically just rampant speculation on the markets. So,
surprised me.
Yeah, at that time. It had nothing to do with the fact that you couldn't find gas at the pump. Of course you could find gas at the pump.
Yeah,
So
selling it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So it was not a supply issue. It was strictly a price run. So
Yeah. No, it's not. I didn't see too many, Giuseppe's just hanging out in front of their gas stations. It's like, go away, no more gas.
no, yes, yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't see any family owners of these gas stations trying to be. I'm so sorry,
Yeah. You can see people with garden hoses patrolling parking lots. Yeah.
Because that's the weapon of choice to keep your place safe.
Well, no, to siphon out gas.
Oh, I thought this was.
I can sit there and hit someone with a garden hose.
I thought it was the same way that you protect your house from TPers on Halloween.
No, that's what an AR-15 is for. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I got a couple neighbors I would worry about. Yeah. Well, no, we could check the Ring app. So what was it? I got a notification yesterday. It was sexually violent predator moving into Colorado Springs. I'm like, you don't fucking say.
The whole
thing.
city?
The whole city, and you sent me a thing on my Ring app. So, and it's like, okay. Is he moving next door? Is he getting a job at a school? Yeah. No, it was just now he's moving in. And so the Ring app gins up this shit too. Yeah.
Okay.
So the last podcast when we got off and looked at it, it was awfully heartwarming to see that a good 3/4 of the messages were hey, I found a dog.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It wasn't explosions. I don't know, but I do have a couple neighbors that I worry about. I got one in particular now. The more that I see of that guy, the more I worry about him in some respects.
What are the warning signs?
I don't know. He's out there chopping wood today. So,
That's
I know that's pretty harmless.
No, it depends. Is he it depends on whether he's chopping wood to stay warm or chopping wood for freedom.
I think he's chopping wood for the zombie apocalypse.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I think if he could get away with it, he'd probably dig a bomb shelter in his backyard.
Did he have a shirt on?
I didn't go and peek my head over the fence to find out.
You just heard the whacking.
I just heard the whack. I thought someone was playing basketball against the side of my house. So I went outside to look, and it was no, he's out there chopping wood, and it's You know, when you were growing up, your parents used a fireplace, right? Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, my dad too. Okay, so but when he bought wood, he bought like I don't know, like a quarter cord or something like that, and a guy would come and deliver it.
Well, this was it. Was much like the ice cream man, a dude with wood would occasionally stop by selling firewood.
Or you'd have those signs, like the, lemonade or house for sale kind of, it'd be like firewood.
Right.
Lawn aeration in the spring.
Right. Yeah. They're losing peanuts. Yeah, I got it. And so I guess, I don't know if this was just unsanctioned firewood my dad was buying, but it was just, it was that way. And it was, all we had to do was, when it came in, we had to stack it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. We didn't have to go out back and fucking Abe Lincoln this stuff ourselves.
Yeah, so this guy's out there Abe Lincolning all of his own firewood. Now, again, okay, that's not that weird, but in combination with like all the other things,
it just depends. That's why the racism test has 3 questions, not 1.
Ooh, we should come up with like a libertarian misanthrope question.
Oh my god! Well, I feel like these would be
shoot your zombie neighbors.
Yeah, I feel like some of this would be like so on the nose. Where
right. Well, you can start out. What's your favorite amendment to the Constitution? I don't know. Yeah, that's still a little bit on the nose. Yeah.
Yeah, that would. I don't know. I'd have to give that some serious thought. I'm going to use the mat. Thank you, though. Yeah, I feel like we could work on something like this, but we can't. There just can't be any references to Ruby Ridge on there. I feel like that's going to be a dead giveaway.
Totally giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ruby Ridge or Waco or yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to think on that one a little bit. Mm-hmm. So because I think just about everything would be on the nose with that one. But I think he would pass it. So he would do the full 3. Yeah,
whatever they
if
were.
we made it really subtle, he would probably pass it full bore. So he's the guy whose entire house is rigged with cameras pointing in every direction. So he's the kind of guy who'd like probably buy landmines if he could. Yeah.
This is something where, yes, where you could be like, just like if you have the knowledge of this, it's enough to kind of put you on that list. Like, so if the flag has fringe on it, what does that mean?
Yeah. Okay, that's not bad. I don't know. We need to get. I actually have a copy of the Anarchist Cookbook someday.
I do too.
I got to find something in there that's really esoteric.
Oh, like how to make your own thermite and save.
Something like that. It's like, what do you get when you combine X, Y, and Z? And if they answer thermite. Okay, so
yeah, exactly. It's like, so what? Yeah, but you can't. That's the tough thing is you can't be like, what are you going to do with rust shavings or whatever, right? Okay. That's too.
Yeah,
it's a. What, are you fed? That's a.
Right. Yeah, they would know. So yeah, I don't know, but man. Gosh dang, I don't even know where that thing is. It's buried deep somewhere in my boxes of books that never made it to a shelf.
I've got the PDF version somewhere.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Probably on a very old computer because my dad gave it to me.
Your dad gave it to you?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Must have been a proud moment. I'm passing this on to you, boy.
I don't know what he wanted me to do with it. I
probably just thought it was cool. Knowing
I'm sure he did because I don't think he wanted me filling a tennis ball with strike anywhere matches, and throwing it at some geek.
Right. Yeah, he probably just thought it was cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm also well aware that he got up to his share of mischief back in the day.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, my dad probably did too, but he never talked about it.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, he never talked about it though. So, yeah. He didn't want to. I don't know. I think growing up for him was kind of rough. But
no, you've mentioned that.
Yeah.
And that's to say, I'll bet you he had more than his share of good times, but there was also,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah, I remember when we got those small, and these are perfect home defender weapons. I could get it for demonstration purposes, but the small bats that you get at like the Sky Sox.
Yeah.
And he told me, he's like, well, we used to do with these. We get these and we drill out the inside, and then you go to the fishing store, and then you go, you get a whole lot of lead sinkers, and you just melt them and then you put them in there, and then you just put like the cork on top.
Yeah.
And this was very much like Blue and Mac. Dad, why do you know
Why do you
this?
know this? Blue and Mac.
It's like, why were you corking your little bats with lead?
Right.
It's like, these hurt enough to get hit with, and you're juicing them.
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I don't. Did he answer you?
I presume it was to mix it up with some neighborhood toughs, but
Probably.
I don't, because what else would you do with it? You're not going to hit little baseballs with them.
I don't know though, man. That's a totally different generation, where you're like using that stuff, like not to actually use it on somebody, but just so somebody doesn't mess with you,
Yeah, but that's what switchblades were for.
Yeah. I guess, man. I mean, God, even growing up, you and I, man, any kid who had a switchblade was like, where the fuck did you get that? Kind of thing. So I only knew one. So
a few, but
you knew a couple.
Yeah, but a lot of that was just they thought it looked cool. There was,
I knew one guy who had a butterfly knife.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
That's what I'm talking. Nobody had a stiletto or anything. Those are way illegal. But
no, I knew one guy who had a flip switchblade.
Okay, you're not supposed to have those.
No, you're not.
Yeah,
I have one.
You do?
Yeah.
Why do you have it?
I don't know. I saw it on Amazon. I wanted to see if they would actually ship it to me.
Did they ship it to you?
Yeah. So...
I'm not going to tell anybody, but you're not supposed to. They did not check that out.
Actually, I checked it out. It is actually legal to have them in Colorado now. So,
oh, is it?
Yeah, as long as it's not one. It's not. So you can have a switchblade, but you can't have the spring-loaded ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
A stiletto. Yeah.
A stiletto. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, do we still have to classify brass knuckles as paperweights?
I don't know, man. So that's something I've never had. I've never even seen a pair. So have you? Yeah. No, I didn't know anybody who had that. Yeah.
Well, again, it's like, why do you have this?
Right.
So these are my older brothers.
Right.
I guess that's the next.
I'm the youngest in the family.
Yeah, I guess I didn't ask the next question was, well, why does your brother have this?
Right. Yeah.
I was okay with the first part saying, oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, the kid that I knew had a switchblade. He got it from his dad. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And there were people around here had a myriad of like ninja stars and.
Oh shit! We used to make them in Metal Shop, man. So while Mr. Hunter wasn't looking,
I can see that.
You used the tin snips to cut them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could just buy them,
Oh, could you?
Yeah, there were ways to get them.
Huh. I don't remember, man. So I didn't even have a knife until... Well, that's not true. My dad gave me one when I joined Scout.
I was going to say, Scouts are supposed to have knives.
Yeah, but you got to do like this test, before you get... I think it's called a Whitland shit. So, I know, and it's like, it's got all these rules on how to... Like, if I hand you a knife, I have to hang on to it until you grasp it and say thank you. And then I say thank you and let go of it. Rules like that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
What?
Is that there are girls that want to join that club.
Yeah, maybe not so much once they learn that.
I would like to think your daughter would see that and say, man, this is corny as shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, you had to do that. And there was another thing. You couldn't carry matches until you took a test, too. I can't remember what it was, though. There was another sheet that allowed you to actually, like, be a fire marshal, quote. I'm making dick fingers with my hands right now. So I can't remember though, man. So we had a lot of time. I listened to that last podcast. We spent quite a bit of time bagging on the Boy Scouts.
I forget, were we were we fair and also extolled the virtues of it?
I don't think we really extolled the virtues of it because I don't think there's too many of those to necessarily explore other than the fact of just keeping kids out of trouble and get you a chance to get out of the house and stuff like that. There's a lot of ways to do that. I don't think there's anything particularly special about Boy Scouts.
No, but it definitely counts. Sure. I mean, it's... I know this is going to sound bizarre, but I'm sort of a big advocate of community rec centers. And we don't really have that going on here, but I know there are a lot of places where that actually is, I don't want to say necessarily a safe place, but safer than...
I've lived in like in Nebraska. When I lived in Nebraska, the Y was a big fucking deal. So it really was.
Talking about. Yeah.
I mean, it's the only place you could see people playing basketball and shit like that.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, yeah, Denver, not so much. When I lived in Denver, the Y is a place you did not go to. Distinctly.
Yeah. I mean, I have known dudes that work out at the Y.
Mm-hmm.
But it really all depends on the city you're doing it in.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We still got a couple of them around here. So,
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I remember Ma used to take us to the Y to swim when we were kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We didn't go there. We went to the pool on base.
I think we went down there a couple times. But it was just far. So
yeah, there is that, but
Peterson, now called Space Force Base. So my brother sorted me out on that a couple of weeks ago. It's
no longer
Peterson Air Force Base. It's Peterson SFB, Space Force Base.
Yeah, that rolls right out the tongue.
Sure, I don't care. So it's just like, well, I guess we're gonna have to change all that letterhead, huh? Cool.
Best $4.5 million we ever spent.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we changed all the pencils and the pens.
Right, and the big plaques on the outside of the base and stuff.
Yeah.
So, because that's of course important. So, I'm not gonna bag on it too much. Whatever.
No, space needs to be protected, or people need to be protected from space.
From space, yeah.
I mean, while you're in it, not from space itself.
Right. Yeah, okay.
That's relatively harmless. It's not going to touch you. It's not a daily concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you have to be a very special person or a very rich person right now in order for space to actually be a problem for
exactly.
you. Yeah.
Space stays up there.
Yeah. Leave it there.
Knows where the fence is.
Yeah, it's fine.
Doesn't cross.
Yeah, it's not for us.
Occasionally throws its crap at us.
Yeah, but it's not too bad.
No.
So,
if it tries again, we'll destroy it.
Right, yeah, we'll destroy space. I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, like, what else? Why do you need, like, a whole fifth branch? I don't know. And the other thing that, like, I didn't like about it, and this is just a real nerd thing on my part, but I wish they had adopted, like, the fucking Navy rank signature, so you'd have an admiral in the Space Force. But they went straight up Air Force just because it's populated with Air Force guys. And so like, well, I've already got 3 stars. And so,
right.
Yeah. And I was like, God dang, man, that's so short-sighted. Think about it, long run. You're going to be the captain of a ship somewhere going to Neptune or something, and looking back at like 1968 and, thinking it's like, I'm James T. Kirk. Right. I'm going to get my gold stripe.
See, this is why I disagree with you. I think they needed new titles.
Okay.
And they should actually go with titles in the monarchy. So, like
Duke of it can be the Grand Duke of like.
That's what I'm talking about.
Jupiter.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. So you'd be like the second Prince of Space. You'd be. So this is what.
They did do that with enlisted ranks. So with enlisted ranks, so Air Force has airmen, Navy has sailors, Marines are all Marines, right? And in the Army, you're soldier, right? So.
Well, wait. Okay, so you have airmen. You have I think it's seamen. I think it's
seamen. Yeah.
And then What is it in the army? It's infantry, right? Or is it?
No, you can be in any kind of different MOS, but I think everybody's referred to as a soldier.
Okay.
Yeah, and a Marine is a Marine. So
Okay. Yeah.
so apparently Space Force enlisted are known as Guardians.
Of what?
Okay, I was waiting for your reaction on that. I had the exact same one.
I mean, I don't think that's
Of
bad.
Cleveland? Yeah, I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah.
bad. But again, it's nothing on, First Earl or
First Earl. Sea Lord, Space Lord. Can have our first Space Lord? Yeah.
See, that's the problem. Is these are all titles, honorary titles I would have given to my dog. Because I've always had a thing for assigning dogs a rank as part of their name.
So what's Kinsasha's rank?
Well, she came preloaded with a name, so I didn't get to assign her one.
Oh.
Right. But when you get
So yeah, Sir Elvis. Yeah.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Elvis was preloaded with a name, so I didn't get to assign him a rank. But I mean, I think that there's a tradition of, like, when you go to the pound or whatever, and you're going to go adopt a dog that has no name, or a puppy. Yeah, this is like Admiral Wolf,
Admiral Wolf. Yeah.
or
Captain Sparky.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't think I could do that with cats, man. So they're all Earls.
Right, they hold equal power over each other.
They're all either Lord or Lady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand, and they do have a regal sense.
I don't know, man. They can be stupid too. My cat barfed up something today. It looks like that string you tie to a balloon, that green stuff.
I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
she coughed up like a fucking cocoon of it today. And I was like, where did you get that? We haven't had balloons in the house in ages. So where'd you pull that out of?
You know what? All right, I'm gonna tell just a side story, something that made me laugh. I read an article today about you ever seen a bearded lizard?
Yeah.
Okay, they're very small.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, look, not quite like horny toads, which you've seen them, but the article from CNN said bearded lizards linked to salmonella outbreak. And my question, I was like, who's eating
these?
Yeah. But this is the same thing where it comes to the cat, and when they barf up that, you have to say, why'd you eat this?
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea why she ate that.
What made you think this was food?
Yeah, I don't know. Unless it was a piece of, she thought it was a piece of string and just gagged on it or something like that and just horked the entire thing. I have no idea. Well, my wife brought it to me. She was like, what the hell is this? So it was like the cat just, barfed this up.
This came out of your cat.
This came out of the cat, yeah. And I was like, well, it looks like a green hairball, but it's not.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
But not like I can sit there and talk about Rear Admiral Kinsasha over here, where the first week I had her, she had to go to emergency services
That's right.
because she ate carpet.
That's right. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah. You just got her. That was when she was not well adjusted at all, too. So
No, she was lashing out.
yeah,
She would just not stop with the graffiti.
right. Just tagging everything in your house.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
fucking, and she just wrote like "Han shot first" over everything. It's,
Yeah. No, thankfully my cats don't do that. So they're pretty well adjusted.
No,
they're
good
just
cats.
weird, man.
oh, this dog's weird too.
Yeah, that's true.
Animals are weird in general. I mean, it's every now and then you come across that like perfectly adjusted dog, right?
Yeah, we had a perfectly adjusted cat. The last one.
Yeah.
So most harmless cat on the face of the planet. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've never enjoyed the company of a cat more than that one
Oh, yeah.
because that cat in just a brief time made me feel appreciated.
she had this thing where she could make just about anybody feel happy.
Yeah.
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 So yeah. she was absolutely harmless.
Yeah. what you're talking about are the animals that give me pause to think about like our place in the universe. And I only mean this in the sense of you cannot convince me that Shadow the cat didn't actually have a soul.
Oh, no. Yeah. She was a very old, kind lady who got her wish granted to be reincarnated as a spoiled house cat.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
I think she raised many grandchildren.
That's what I'm
Or worked
talking
at a
about.
lot of orphanages or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what version of Buddhism is that?
Oh, where you come back?
Yeah.
Well, there's a few. So, everything but...
I think it's Theravada where you don't come back, right? Oh my God, man! Religious studies has been so long.
I get the book. It's on the shelf. I can grab it, but I think...
This is what Theravada and Mahayana, right?
Well, yeah, and Zen, and
Zen.
and Shinto.
Shinto is its own thing, and then it turned into Buddhism, right? After a
No,
while.
Shinto is the version that went to Japan and got weird.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
right.
one where you pray to Buddha, which is decidedly non-Buddhist.
Well, I guess that piece of it is. I don't know.
Well, the Buddha's not supposed to be like a holy revered figure. He's just a dispenser of wisdom, but you're not supposed to come to him and say like, "Oh, mighty Buddha, I would like an Xbox for Christmas this year." Right? It's not.
PlayStation 5, please. Hit the lottery.
It's not. Yeah, it's not that kind of religion. It's just this is a person that taught who was just not supposed to be revered in that sort of way. It was sort of like the anti-religion in its own way.
I don't remember that much about that one. So that and Taoism. God, I think I only took like one overview course, and that was well over 20 years ago now. Yeah, it's been a long time. I wonder if they even still teach those.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, you think
Yeah.
so?
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Are they still practiced? So yeah, of course they would.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I've only known a couple Buddhists. So
Yeah, and even some of them were kind of. Are you doing this just because it's cool?
I didn't think it was convenient. Yeah. And in other cases, it was like, well, I know this is going to piss my parents off. So,
yeah. And
I know there was one guy, and you know who I'm talking about. I think it was convenient for him.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would say that generally speaking, your religion to actually piss off your parents is, well, the Church of Satan.
Right, the Church of Satan.
You have
Or
to
become a Wahhabist or something.
or you could be some like dorky pagan or.
Oh God, they were coming out of the woodworks this last Halloween.
Where? What?
Yeah.
Doing what?
I don't know what it was, man. But there was like, where was I? I was out with my daughter somewhere. And there was a whole like gaggle of them. I can't remember exactly what it was. Yeah. They were talking about fall, what is it, harvest celebration or something. They don't call it Halloween. I can't remember.
Oh, the like not the harvest festival, but that's
And that might have been it.
No, well, because that's supposed to be the non-religious equivalent.
Oh, so maybe they weren't pagans then. Maybe they were just liberals. Well, not even liberals. I mean, that's like something totally
no,
different.
that's just no. Like, are you sure you didn't have Wiccans hanging around?
Oh, they might have been Wiccans.
Because Wiccans are big on bonus holidays or
Right. Yeah, actually, it was. They were Wiccans.
Did they make sure to tell you that? Well, Christmas is actually just painted over.
Yeah, painted over fucking Winterfest or whatever it is. Yeah. Oktoberfest. So, yeah. It's an usurped holiday. You know? It's like, well, they had to put it somewhere. I mean, they didn't write it down. Actually, I bet you the Romans, well, they did. They wrote down Easter. So we know when Easter was.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But as far as Christmas,
And it's so funny that this is the thing about history of when people talk about this kind of stuff is none of us were there. We don't really we can't say for sure. But there's this picture that they have of people when they talk about this stuff, and they're saying like, oh well, Easter, this was the in place of like the spring festival, and they painted over it, and they take a look at the people in charge, and they say the way that the sinister way that they try to put this of like, this must be eliminated. It's like, no, it's. I mean, to me, it
you weren't there. Yeah, exactly. Your point.
Don't know. Yeah. To me, it always makes more sense of like, well, I'm not giving everybody 2 holidays.
You just see it from corporate. From your corporate office. It's like 2 holidays. So, when's Winterfest? December 25th. That's Christmas.
That's Christmas.
Yeah. Just having 1 holiday.
Right, right. I don't care why you take it off. You get it off. But you don't get both.
There's so many things like that. I remember studying history. People would get butthurt about that shit on certain things. Just yeah. It was like, you weren't fucking there. You don't know. All right. So it's not some grand conspiracy put together by, the fucking Curia and, goddamn, like a collection of that, Nostradamus and.
Oh, right. Is this something that goes to the Templars? Is this
right? Well, it all ends up with Rasputin somehow. I mean, because of course he was actually a wizard.
Come on, man. I mean, if we're going that far back, just say the Jews and be done.
Yeah, just be done with it. So, no, I don't know, man. So I knew some people even in the program at that point in time who were like constantly like finding little things like that to justify things that they like. This is screwdriver theory. So I'm a fucking Wiccan, and so I will use my knowledge of history to validate my own beliefs. And it was just it was like, okay, everybody does that. You're not like getting me to not, like fucking hang up stockings and stuff, and take my daughter to the mall to see Santa. I'm still gonna do it. So,
No, you're right, and this is the same group of people that will come at you and say like, well, the version of Santa Claus we all know was invented by Coca-Cola. Yeah, it was like, well, yeah, I mean, they drew a picture of him, but this is based off of. This and this. It's like, and to tell you the truth, if it was invented by Coca-Cola, I don't care because it still works. It's cool. Now, I'm not big on like Santa or anything like that, but that there's plenty of kids out there that are.
Oh yeah, I mean, this year was the first year my daughter was like wise to the whole Santa thing, and she was 100% cool with it. She was like, well, he's not real. I was like, well, no, okay, I get it. So, but, as long as parents love their children, and want to surprise them during Christmas, he's just as real as that. And she was like, oh, that's really cool. I was like, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, you got it.
I mean, okay, so when you...
It ain't rocket science, man.
Yeah, when you break down the actual logistics of it, so what's the purpose of this? It's like, all right, well... Santa is this nebulous figure that allows me to give you anywhere between 1 and question mark amount of gifts based off of whether or not I had the money for it this year, whether or not I deem that your behavior was appropriate.
And whether it was a smile I want to see on your face.
Exactly. So, I mean, I get it. I like it. I just don't, it's not really...
Yeah, no.
It's not for me.
And no, people can opt in, people can opt out. That's totally fine.
Right.
So, yeah, people decide to opt in, and then he's, fucking crop dusters come in there. Well, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, all right. Fucking dicks. Thanks for TikToking that out there.
I'm sorry, yeah, you were talking.
There is a lady I've seen on YouTube lately.
What?
All right, who's like this TikTok famous, like, fucking historical troll who just brings out like the most vociferous responses from people, because she talks about the fact that like fucking ancient Rome never existed, and so she like, you know, knows just enough about history to be dangerous, and all she's doing is fucking trolling all these motherfuckers who are like, bullshit, let me show you how many different ways to do it. And I'm like, oh my god, guys. You were totally falling for this. All right. So, you know, she gets like 8 million views on these things, you know, because you guys cannot keep your fucking trap shut.
You don't have the wherewithal to know when you've been got.
Yeah, you don't have the wherewithal to not share that information that you know with the entire world. Why don't you just shut the fuck up? You know, so, it is so. I'll see if I can find some of her shit.
That's so wacky. Okay, now
I mean, it's so off the deep end what she's talking about. Of course, it's fucking not true. You know, even if she does believe it, all right. So what? All right, you know she's fucking wrong about these things, but she just brings out all these like reaction videos, and of course, what does she do the next week? She drops another one. It's just she's just trolling all these history nerds out there. It's so fucking funny, man.
What's amazing about that is if you take this from any kind of, I don't want to say marketing, but like almost because that's programming, right?
Sure.
It's content creation, right? There's no version of this where in the past you would go to a panel of 3 producers and say, this is the target audience that I'm targeting.
Oh, yeah.
Because you wouldn't know how to explain it.
I don't think you could.
Right?
Well, I know for 3 producers look at you and be like, yeah, right. You know?
Well, of course they'd be saying, and this is going to help us sell Dove how, right? So
Right, yeah.
I do get that, but what's funny is it's redefining what we actually know about audiences.
Sure.
And if you have an audience that you are actively adversarial to and it works,
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Oh, no. She, yeah, I mean, the first couple of her videos I saw, and she got me angry. I was like, who the fuck are you? What book did you read? You know, kind of thing. And then I was like, I watched the third one. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, shit. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta say.
I was like, wait, whoa. Yeah, because my blood pressure does have kind of like this bleed valve on it, you know, where it's like, oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? That's not right. You know, and it was like, let me watch another one. And she's sitting here talking about like what is the column, Hadrian's column or whatever it is. No, it's not
Hadrian's Wall.
It's Hadrian's Wall. It's I can't remember the name of the emperor who built the column. In Rome. It's Trajan's column. So, you know, or it's not called a column, it's called something else. I can't remember. Roman history was not my specialty. So, but anyway, it's basically a big stick. All right, so that's, you know, designed to be a monument, blah, 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 and stuff like that. And she started trolling, like, a couple of these guys about, well, you know, it's hollow, so it doesn't mean blah, 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 what it's supposed to. And it's complete horseshit. Okay, and then I'm sitting here looking at how many reaction videos where, like, these Italian guys are getting pissed, these historian guys are getting pissed, these neckbeards are getting pissed, and I'm like, fucking... And she is so, like, snarky about it, too, that it is so perfect. Like, she's just like, well, obviously you guys can't read Latin, you know? And it's like, well, and everybody's like, yeah, I can read Latin. It's so good, man. Once I realized what she was doing, I was like, oh, my God, this is brilliant. You're making yourself, like, TikTok rich off these guys.
You know what's funny, too, is that wouldn't work if you were a guy.
Oh, it totally wouldn't work.
No.
Yeah, no, everybody would call you out and be like, I don't listen to that guy. So he's just trolling you.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that she's a chick, she's obviously like, if she's not like actually this way, she really makes herself out to be this really woke kind of lefty historian kind of thing, you know? And so it's so fucking perfect. It is like the perfect bait, you know?
Well, you have to know enough to be able to make up basically the falsehoods about it in a way that you know that will piss people off.
I could do it about World War II tanks, and I would have a TikTok channel with 1 billion fucking hits on it. So if I was a chick, so
right,
yeah.
If you're a guy, it's like you know better.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh no, Pat, you know all about that stuff. So And I'd be like, yeah, I kind of do.
I could see it in your eyes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So you can see that that Irish twinkle, the troll twinkle.
But that being said, it's not to say that every single man knows about World War II
Absolutely.
in detail, but you can also tell when somebody doesn't. You can also tell when somebody just doesn't know about it.
You can also tell when someone doesn't care,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which should be most people. So,
and it just, to me, it seems that people don't normally talk about it with fake expertise unless they've put in the time.
yeah.
I mean, what is the last? I'm trying to think of an event where somebody was trying to put on a show or talk about World War II in any capacity without having the facts.
Oh, I can't think of a time. I mean, you could probably find some early History Channel shows where they're just stitching together newsreel footage and stuff. But I mean, it's one of those things where I see even on some of the, not necessarily the forums, but like some of the YouTube channels that I used to watch and stuff, where someone will make a slight mistake about like, calling a B-17 a B-24. And people will be like, blah, 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 all over the comments and stuff. And it's just like, yeah, that was an honest mistake, man. I mean, he said the right thing for
Right.
B-17 like 5 times, and then he just slipped, the 5th time.
Right.
Okay.
Right,
And so
right.
you guys all just jumped his shit at that point in time. And it's like, obviously the guy knows what he's talking about. All right. He's just, and yet all of you jump in and do this shit because there are no people out there who are just trying to fake it anymore. So you got to find those little mistakes.
Well, and that's the weird thing is, are you watching these shows for the purpose of fact checking to see if the show screws up, or are you actually, because
I think there's a lot of people who do that.
I guess there's a question, Patrick, is what do you have left with a documentary about World War II? What do you legitimately have left to learn that you are just, I don't know anything about this?
Oh, me, like, there's like maybe 2 or 3 theaters left out of the whole thing. I don't know that much about the war in China. I mean, I'd have to learn either Japanese or Chinese to go. I'm not going to do that in order to actually flesh out that.
I suppose that's true. Yeah.
But other than that, I mean,
like Greece and
I
stuff like that.
I know a little bit about that. I mean,
Spain.
there's like a whole Spain, the Spanish Revolution or the Civil War in Spain. I don't know that much about that. I know Franco won. So, because he died in the 70s in charge of Spain.
It'd be weird if he didn't, yeah.
Yeah. So,
normally they execute the crap out of people like that when you lose.
I don't know that much about like the resistance in the Eastern Front. There's like a really good movie on that a couple years ago that actually had a, what the fuck is his name? This guy who played Beast.
Kelsey Grammer?
No, not Beast. Sabretooth.
Oh.
What's that guy's name?
The wrestler?
No. I can't remember.
Oh.
He's Jewish.
Aren't they all?
You said it. So, well, yeah, that would be about it, man. I mean, the reason why I quit my master's degree because I didn't want to learn anything more about the fucking Holocaust. So I spent a whole year and a half learning about the most horrific thing on the face of the planet that I could imagine. And I was like, you know what? Fuck history. So it ain't fun. All right. And then you turn around and you say like, oh, well, I just want to study the military part. And it's like, well, that part made this part happen.
Right.
So you can't really separate these two things. And so I run into guys not too often anymore because I don't spend time on those forums, but I still see people in certain things. It's like, oh, your avatar is a dude wearing a Nazi helmet. All right.
Right.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
So, and I know you just like the Tiger tanks and stuff, but fuck that. So,
Look, and there's a piece of this that I completely understand on a level of World War II is perfectly ripe with plenty of things that miniaturize so well into games and stuff like this versus any other war in history.
Oh, yeah.
Right? By far.
Sure.
By far. So there's a piece of this where if you're, a war game enthusiast or just a person that likes military hardware.
Yeah, hardware. Yeah.
Allow me to draw the distinction. I'm not talking about the actual death and destruction and loss of families and diasporas and all the other shit that you cause with it, but just, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I guess you could blow up like a whole case of Mountain Dew with that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you go out to the range and you shoot cans, right?
Sure.
You don't sit there and pretend that, you don't look at every single one of them and say like, yeah, that's another Democrat, right? You're not putting.
Oh man, I know. I bet
things.
you there's people out there who do that though.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you, there's some dude in Montana that's blown away Nancy Pelosi.
Oh yeah,
60,000 times on his property, but you're not that.
No.
And when it comes to the hardware stuff, yes. If you just think that's fun and cool,
sure.
Got it.
That's what games are for, man.
Exactly.
So yeah, but it's a game.
But there is a part of this was used, man.
Yeah, this was used. Found him stuffed in his own display case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of like fun history stuff, but I guess that's it. It's just I can't get into the mentality of, well, I know all this shit, so I'm gonna watch this show with this, like, I'm gonna have my fingers loaded on the keyboard, ready to light somebody up if they make a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, and opportunities to do that are pretty rare, and so it's so like, yeah. I'm a chick who talks with vocal fry, and it talks about how like the Roman Empire is a myth. I'm gonna get like so much attention out of that just because nobody does that shit, and there's a million people out there just like they live in the past so much for whatever reason. I mean, I just personally find it fascinating, but I've never found a single point in time in all of my studies, either professional or not,
or amateur.
Right. Yeah, just
right.
Like, oh, this is a cool book. Let me read this one. Where it was like, oh man, it would have been cool to be there. So I was like, no, man, my life is pretty fucking cool. So
well. That being said, I mean, I do know that you participated in some, say, Wild West activities.
Yeah, but we drove there in pickup trucks, man. I'm not getting there on a fucking horse.
No, okay, yes, I totally understand that. And I don't think I've ever heard you say, boy, I think that I would have really loved to live in the Wild West. Because my understanding is everything smelled like poop.
Oh, I have no idea. It might have very well. I mean, you might have been nose blind to it by then.
Oh, you do. Yeah.
But, no, there's nothing about that. I mean, the reason why I did that was I just loved Western movies, man. So and it was like, man, this is fun. It's like being in a movie. So, it was. So, especially when you get to rob trains.
Yeah, stuff like that. And I guess you can also, I don't know, there's something about the Western aesthetic that I do enjoy.
Yeah.
To a small part. Not so much that I'd put it against, other historical periods and say, oh, this is by far, hands down, the great. No, it's like, I don't want to wear Victorian clothes. You're wearing like 29 layers in the summer.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. It's like Civil War guys, man. Oh my God.
Okay, so what's going on with that?
Oh, I don't know, man. So the one that I went to was weird, though. So after that, I was like, nope, I'm never doing this again. So, yeah. Because there were nut jobs there who were just like, oh, yeah, we eat, like, period food and stuff. I was like, there's a fucking McDonald's right over there.
Like my period food is Wendy's.
Well,
Yeah,
and see, that's
I
the
know.
thing is like, they try really hard to like live in the past and try and walk in somebody else's shoes. But that's pretty hard to do when there's a fucking porta john 20 feet away.
Right.
And the same thing's true when everybody who there is fat. Okay? I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah, there is some sort of magnetism between fat and history.
Yeah.
It's not exclusive. The two things, they don't have to go together, but there just seems to be a crowd that... God, we're really generalizing, aren't we? We're
I guess, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't know where this fits in with, say, like Renaissance Fair people, but...
Oh, man, we went to the Ren Fest this year, and it's just as bad. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun, though.
Yeah.
But, like, it's also... Like, we went up there on, like... What was it? It was, like, supposed to be, like, fucking Pirate Day. And it's like, there weren't pirates, but whatever. It's Pirate Day. So everybody's into the... ever since... Shit, we went there like 20 years ago when the first Pirates of the Caribbean came out.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's when that started. And now there's like a whole fucking pirate weekend.
Oh,
Where
okay.
everybody dresses up as pirates and stuff. But you see people who's like, it's just like, my God, that is a really intricate and impressive costume. You probably worked on that all fucking year
Right,
for
right.
a weekend.
Mhm.
It's like, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, part of it is admirable, but part of it's also like, I hope you do something else.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah,
Yeah.
but then there's some where you can kind of tell they don't. Yeah.
And yet, somehow I'm okay with that because...
Are you?
Yeah. So there's two parts of this, right? There's two parts of this because you're talking about like that whole like cosplay culture is really what that is, right?
Okay.
And that's really the trick to it. And if you're anything that you're capable of making a living out of, so if you've worked in your garage and you have made this, working Iron Man costume and your job is actually going to conventions or whatever, and you get paid for this or whatever, hey, good for you.
Yeah,
right?
okay. I don't think that's very many people.
Certainly not men.
Yeah.
But, and... No,
Right.
well, I mean...
No, you're right.
If you're going to talk about the evolution of what this is, I mean, I'm not going to sit there and talk about, how women have basically commandeered geek culture and are using this to their advantage with guys and essentially getting that cred in there because all that is really it's an evolution of what used to be known as like a booth babe, right?
Booth babe.
Yeah, because when you used to go to conventions, I mean, you can ask any... Shit, I think my dad could talk about this. Like, any of those, like, old conventions, like, not even, like, comic conventions, but if you go to, like, a consumer show or a trade show.
Oh, okay,
right,
yeah. I know what
they'd
you're
have
talking
girls
about.
in costumes.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm the Panasonic girl, right?
I think it's evolved beyond that.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah, okay.
is that it never disappeared. We've said that certain versions of this are bad and ugly, but if you go out there and just say, like, well, who are you? It's like, well, I'm Slutty Smurfette. Oh, okay, well, now that's cool because you chose that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk about the effects of third wave feminism and all that other shit, but, I mean, I do get that I'm not one to argue and say, like, well, are you getting paid? It's like, yeah, okay, well, then this is your job, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to fight you on that.
I think, I don't know, man. Like, some of that stuff, like, if you look at people who, like, folks who are a little bit younger than us, so, people who say were born near 9/11 or after,
Okay.
they've done nothing but grow up in comic book culture.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
they don't know anything else.
I agree.
So, like, when you and I were growing up, there were boy toys and there were girl toys,
Yes.
and then there were, like, things where it was like, okay, the dude likes ponies. That's interesting, but whatever.
Right.
That's his bag, okay? And same thing, girl is like, oh, you play with Transformers and play baseball. That's cool, too.
Right.
It's no big deal, all right? But it wasn't, like, the only show in town. And so, like, the last 20 years, it's been, like... Ever since, like, maybe Harry Potter, There have been no franchises that I've seen that are just like, oh, that's obviously, not gender specific, So everything else has just been completely like action dominated, completely what you and I would identify with as a male centric audience in the 80s. Same shit. And that's all that's out there. And so I'm not surprised that a lot of girls show up to fucking Comic-Con this day and, way outdress the guys. And it's not just for material benefit. It's just like, okay, this is part of my culture too, because there wasn't anything else out there, man. So I don't know. That's my theory.
No, I understand. I think I see where you're coming from. I mean, in theory, these aren't supposed to be. All right, let me put it to you this way, okay? I'm going to give you an example of something that was a property that was clearly marketed towards boys, and then they tried to make it as genderless as possible with Star Wars, right? So, in 77 through 84, right, I'm not saying this in a mean or sexist way, and I'm not saying that, Princess Leia
Dude, it's a Western series. Of course it's marketed for guys.
It's a Western series. It's marketed for guys, and, I'm not saying that Princess Leia didn't fuck Jabba's day up, with nothing but a chain. But she was also her tits were out when she was doing it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I don't, so I'll say that, right? But
I don't think you have anything to defend on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that one should be as clear as the day is long. So.
But what I can say is they tried to girly up the new versions of this.
The new ones?
Yes.
The new ones, or
Yeah.
the late 90s ones?
I'm not talking about the George Lucas fever dream where it was, and I will.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one. But I think that, fundamentally, when it still comes down to it, it's still a fucking war series, which is going to be absolutely, I don't know, maybe not so much as easily identifiable as it was when we were kids, but still, it's marketed for boys. So
Currently?
yeah,
No way.
why not? It's war. So
In the most abstract sense.
yeah, I get that, but it's still. I think if you're to look back at it and say like, okay, what's the major theme about this? It's combat conflict, kind of thing.
In the new Star Wars?
Yeah, I would say so. And I'm looking at it from pretty far distance because I couldn't fucking stand any of them. So, and I haven't even seen the last one, but it's still Star Wars. So,
Look,
I get it, man. They're putting a lot of stuff in there to try and make it appeal to wide market audience and stuff like that. But that's the soil that it's planted in.
no, okay, yes, that's the soil it is planted in. The war part of that is, I wouldn't even argue that's the central theme of it. I really would.
Yeah,
I really wouldn't,
yeah.
because they spend so little time on that,
Sure.
and they talk so. They address it so infrequently and poorly when they do. They don't talk about the effects of this.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think that's the central piece, and the rest of it's just tinsel on it. So, all the characters and stuff like that, and, our plots and the fact that we have strong female characters and things like that, none of it really matters. It's still fucking war. I don't know. They wouldn't call it, it wouldn't work if they, turn it into a flat out drama series or something like that. I don't know. So just wouldn't be Star Wars then, man. It'd be something else.
Yeah, but I don't want to go too deep into Star Wars. Star Wars, we've kind of.
I don't think you can, man. It's a lake that's 2 feet deep all the way across.
No, well, there's analysis to it, and we've given our analysis in the past, and that's totally fair. This is where we come to the general conclusion of you got one good movie, right?
Right.
And I understand that, but the last movies were basically just it was a reanimated corpse, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing to it. It's basically like corporate slogans just taped inside what was something that was silly but creative. But I don't want to get into this too much.
There's nowhere to go with it, man. It's a vehicle to make money. And
right.
it's culturally bankrupt. It's just dredging up things that the kids, the grandkids, and you can go to. So
No, the problem I have with this is the problem that I have here is that they're using Star Wars basically. This is where they went wrong in terms of it was a boys' property.
Yeah.
Right? So much that it was a boys' property that they said, all right, well, we can use the reanimated bits of corpse to just say, like, well, we've got guys.
yeah,
How do we girly this up so that we get them both? Right?
yeah, and still keep the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And just basically saying that you're a guarantee,
Yeah.
right?
Until you're not.
Until you're not.
Yep. I'm not.
Yeah, and
I'm done with it, man.
that's sort of the the comic booky thing I'm taking here, where it was like this was a guy's market 100%, and then you take a look around and you see like, wow, I looked away from this and okay, so you have all these girls now, and I don't find any straight white men anywhere in this business anymore, right? And again, this is not me being Archie Bunker. I'm just saying, like, okay, you are walking your core audience out the door really fast. The ones that actually brought you to the show. And I'm not saying like, wow, this neighborhood has gone to hell. No, it's not that. It's that you're disrespecting. Fuck it. I don't want.
Yeah, I don't even know that disrespecting.
Whatever.
It's almost along the lines. It's like I have no reason to be here anymore.
Right.
And so I'm kind of in that boat with Star Wars. Actually, I'm definitely in that boat with Star Wars. I have no intention to see any other Star Wars property until I have reason to do so.
No,
I would say with just Buck Rogers it, man, and just leave it in the past for another 50 years.
I'm totally okay with that. Yeah.
Same thing with Indiana Jones. Same thing with fucking Terminator. God, man, I mean, I haven't seen a good Terminator movie since 1992.
There's only two of them.
There's only two.
Yep.
So yeah, I know. So, and it's just like, all right, so those are all parts of my childhood, parts of my adolescence, young adulthood, and stuff like that. Fuck it. So that's where they belong. I'm not that person anymore. So, but nothing in the world's going to stop me from, firing up T2 and just watching it all the way through every now and then.
No, it's rare. I mean, it does happen where a later entry in a franchise is so bad that it retroactively actively makes the others worse. It can happen.
Highlander.
See, I didn't want to say it, but I mean there are examples of it. But it's
Highlander. I don't know. Have you seen the new Matrix movie?
no.
Okay, that one might be a good contender too. So
I've only seen like mixed reactions to it. Where people are like, "This is awesome."
right.
They think it's very clever that the first half of the movie is so meta that it's saying that it's a completely satirical look on what real life is doing to the Matrix, and they were going to make it without you, and blah, blah, blah.
It looks like you just went offline, man.
I don't know, man. Like, that's just not something that's clever. At least not to me. And let me explain why. Okay, this is going to be the last thing I say. This is going to be the last thing that I really talk about when it comes to media, right? So when you're playing pool, okay, there's something known as a leave. And you know what a leave is?
I've heard it. I don't know.
Okay, so the whole idea is when you take your shot, okay, if you're playing 8-ball and you've got a solid in the corner pocket and then one on the side pocket. When you shoot at the one in the corner, the leave is when you're directing your shot in a way so that after you sink the one in the corner pocket, you're moving it to a place where you had an advantageous shot on the side, right? So,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
okay, so it's about controlling your speed and all that other stuff, right? But the general rule on this is the advice is make the shot first, right? So if you're really worried about the leave, but you don't make the corner pocket shot, that's the theory of make the shot first.
Got it.
Now, I don't have time for meta shit if you're not making a compelling story to begin with, right? I don't care what the metaphorical piece is unless the actual story that you're telling is compelling, right? And if you fucking jerk me off with a whole bunch of like, well, isn't this so referential? This is all, like Jurassic World shit where it's like, you remember how they...
Oh, God.
Remember how they referenced the first movie? It's like, I don't give a shit. You have to make...
You remember when Easter eggs were things that people didn't fucking talk about?
Right. or you saw years later and they didn't impact the story. It's like, did you know that there are E.T. puppets in the Senate in the Star Wars, prequels?
Yeah.
Like, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that until like 7 years after it came out. And
Yeah.
like, take a look. Like, oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
I'm glad they didn't pop out and say like, hey, there are ETs in the movie.
Oh, the internet ruined that though, man.
Right?
Yeah.
So don't fucking get meta on me unless you actually make the shot first.
Yeah.
And I have no time for a movie that's going to waste an hour with the self-referential bullshit and pass it off and say, oh, aren't we clever?
Aren't we
it's like,
clever?
no, you're
No.
wasting my time.
Yeah.
I'm mad at you. Okay?
I want my money back.
But I'm going to one-star the shit out of you.
What story you ass?
Because that's really the only authority I have.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know, man. So, predictions for media. So, what do you think? 5 years? More of the same? Something going to change. Something going to break.
I think anything's going to break. I think, so, COVID sort of, I don't know how to describe this. This is, what is the term? Accelerationism?
Right, where you're trying to rock the boat so it flips.
Right. And sometimes you have an incident that kind of takes your theory and sort of like pushes it to the brink. So the new Spider-Man movie made gazillions of dollars, right? Whereas the other movies that have been like coming out were just kind of, some of them lost money, like nobody cares. And everybody was making excuses like, well, everybody's still, they don't want to get sick. It's like, well, they were willing to risk getting sick for fucking Spider-Man. So there goes your stupid theory.
Yeah.
But the argument here was that theaters are going to be the meeting place for basically tentpole blockbuster Marvel movies or whatever. And as studios know that they're not going to be able to compete in that space, the creative talent is going to go to all of the bazillion streaming services, and you will see better and more interesting content all over the place. They'll even take risks with basically the mid-level blockbuster, but not even risk the theater thing. And I think that's great. It's in the same way that, again, we've discussed this, you will not have the same, you just won't have the same cultural touchstones as Star Wars in 77, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's irrelevant now.
The actual quality of media, because there are less gatekeepers, is through the roof.
Yeah.
But just don't expect the person that you're talking to have seen anything that you watched.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Did you check out Spider-Man? No. Oh, okay.
It's like, well, okay, well, that's that. You have a good chance of that. But
yeah,
it's when I...
What's your dog got over there, man?
She took one of her bones and she's working on it in the most noisy way possible, which I love her for. But yeah, when I turn around and say to you, Patrick, it's like, how did you like The Lobster?
Right.
The answer is going to be,
what's The Lobster? Yeah.
Say, did you see Killing of a Sacred Deer?
No.
Have you heard of it?
I have heard of it from you.
There you go.
Yeah, so, I got it. So you can have these little nodes of people who know about certain like aspects of media, and then you're going to have these giant tent poles out there, which everybody's supposed to see, but only half of people will have seen. So the other half are just going to be like, I don't go to the fucking theater anymore.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
And so that's why the people who do are going to have to pay $50 for a ticket.
Exactly. And the rest of the people are like, no, I don't want to catch AIDS.
Yeah, I don't want to catch AIDS. Omicrons. Omicades.
So I'm Jeffrey,
I'm Pat.
and
So,
it's bedtime.
yeah, it's bedtime. See ya. I'm hitting
Hit the button. All right.